The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
So I want to welcome everybody. My name is Dr. J.C. Doornick to what we call Trilogy Night. It's a Trilogy Zoom where you're going to hear some really, really inspirational stories and learn some amazing things. What I love about what's going on right now is me, just like you, 11 and a half years ago, was finding out about what you're about to hear and hear some stories. And it was a weird different time. You know, that's my picture in the middle there on the left as a health professional, which is kind of funny because, you know, as a health professional, I was swimming with my shirt on. And I used to tell people that was because the sun was bad for my skin. But the truth is that it was because I was ashamed. And yes, as you can see, I found this program and it changed my life. But you know, what was going on with this guy in the middle was not just that he was eating the wrong foods. It was more about why he was eating the wrong foods. You know, that was at a time where I was a workaholic. As a health professional, I was a practicing chiropractor, workaholic, just working probably 70, 80 hours a week. So I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Never seeing my kids, which made me depressed. And also, if I'm being transparent, I was also, as a byproduct of all that, my marriage was failing. So how did I react to that? Well, I'm not one to do drugs or get into drinking. So I created a nice, very, very nice close relationship with food. So I gained weight and I got myself about 75 pounds overweight. So naturally, when I found this program, I was of the diet mindset and I wanted to lose weight. So what you see in that first picture with the blue jeans that is me losing weight. That's my weight loss picture. And it happened pretty quickly. I lost about 55 pounds, you know, results not typical, but I lost that weight. And what happened was I felt better. I wasn't there yet, but I woke up. And what happened is I started engaging in this program. I actually became a coach at that time because I realized that my problem was not that I was overweight. My problem was why I was overweight, and my life was completely out of order. I was not putting the things that mattered most first. So what you see my weight loss picture, and then you see what happens when I fully engaged in the program, in my coach, and some of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. I became a coach and I started paying it forward and feeling that joy. And guess what happened? I actually started to replace this workaholic life with being a full-time health coach. And let me tell you something, that was one of the most wonderful choices I ever made because my after picture there, that is what I wanted. So I want to speak to all those people out there that, you know, whether you have money or not, my problem was I didn't have time. And because I didn't have time, I didn't have the ability to be with my children. And that picture right there was my biggest win because not only am I fit, but that's me as head coach for my son Jackson's football team. And that was one of my all-time dreams. And I look back to that time and I realized that it wasn't my fault that I was out of shape and overweight. That was a symptom and a byproduct of what was going on in my life. So this program took me through a physical transformation. And then I like to say, only on a healthy body rests a healthy mind. I got my mind straight. I learned. I started to identify things that were going on in my life. I chose to pay it forward. And then I got my financial freedom as well, which gave me what I really wanted. So who are we? We're a community of amazing people that know what it's like to face challenges and overcome them. And, you know, I always say, in a world full of thirsty people, if you find a source of water, you're supposed to pay it forward and share it with everybody else, almost as if it's a moral obligation. So we're that community and we do pay it forward. And we have a company that supports us. The name of our company is OPTAVIA, but we have a company that has a history that's nearly 40 years long in a company called Medifast. And we make these amazing products and programs that not only get people started, meet them where they're at, but actually take them to the promised land. You know, this is a company that's been around for a long time. We have over 16,000 coaches now serving America and getting ready to serve the world. So this is an amazing opportunity to get involved and get help from a company that knows what it's doing and people that are actually proof positive people that went through the program. So let's look at some hard facts here. You know, the percentage of adults aged 20 years and over with obesity, 37%, you know, and that's just 2013 and 2014. Percentage of adults aged 20 years and over with overweight, including obesity, 70%. And guess what? By the end of this very Zoom right here, it's going to have gotten worse. So I just want to go over quickly what it is that saved me, and you're going to hear some amazing stories, and that we have this amazing program that offers 4 components. So the first component is you get a coach. You know, I mean, my coach was there to answer simple questions. They were caring. That was an integral part of it because I didn't have to call like some sort of helpline. I had somebody that held me accountable and showed me the ropes and guided me. And being a coach was such a rewarding thing to be able to do for others what somebody did for me. So they also guide us towards healthy habits. You know, what I realized when I was overweight is that's because I was very, very good and very solid at the bad habits that I had been practicing for many years. So what I learned is how to install new healthy habits, and my coach guided me. So that brings up the second component of the program. You got to learn something. You can't just have like a physical transformation without actually learning something. And as I said, installing new habits. So you get this amazing system called Dr. A's Habits of Health, and your coach takes you through that. And it takes you one step at a time to this pathway of long-term success. So the third component is the community. Now think about it. Think about your community right now if you're struggling with your health. Chances are it's not supportive, it's not inspirational. What happens when times go bad? You know, usually in America right now, when times go bad, people love to come in and tell you about how bad things are with you too. Our community is amazing because it's just this huge community online. You know, your coach taps you into all this, things like we just saw the Habits of Health Zoom, and it's a community that you can thrive in. It's supportive, it's inspirational, and in our community, there is no failure, there's only learning, and there's this continuous journey. And then the fourth component is this amazing program, this goof-proof program that offers you these healthy fuelings. So it's real simple. You know, the people that you're about to hear from, as well as me, they're eating 6 times a day. They're learning to fuel their body. They're drinking more water. They're having nutrient-dense, carbohydrate-controlled fuelings that give you a balance of protein and all the nutrients that you need. Scientifically proven, made in America, by the way, scientifically proven and designed to provide the right nutrition at every stage. Let me just end on this with that. Just think how hard it is, because I'm a super healthy guy right now. Think about how hard it is to get the perfect amount of calories, but also the perfect nutritional footprint, right? I tried every program out there. I even tried to eat Atlantic salmon and kale and meditate in the corner and sprinkle chia seeds on my head because that's what I read about. But listen, it's nearly impossible to accomplish a perfect nutritional footprint and the right amount of calories. So our program handled that. So what I want to do now is I am so excited to introduce you to some people that have some very, very inspirational stories that I call full transformations that might have started like me, but then took them all the way to this place where their lives have dramatically changed. And before I do that, I just want to say that we don't just focus on one component. We offer something called the Trilogy of Optimal Health. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. I want you to think about my story. I thought that my problem was that I was overweight, but then as I woke up from getting started on program, I realized when my mind woke up that there was something else going on. It was actually the way I was making money. So the Trilogy of Optimal Health is what makes us unique because it makes us a company that handles what's upstream from everybody's problems. Diets don't do that. In fact, we pick up where diets leave off, which is weight loss. So this is kind of the way we start. You know, we ask our clients, where are you at? You know, where are you at with your healthy body? I was a mess. I was 75 pounds overweight, wearing my shirt when I swam, right? But what I learned through the program, because it was gradual, I learned these things one habit at a time, I started to learn that my mind was not so great. In fact, it was affecting my body. And the reason why my mind wasn't great was because of the way that I was in a structure of making money as a doctor. So let's meet some of these amazing people. First, I mean, just think about this for a second. We've got a doctor of chiropractic, like an expert in fitness and physiology. He's an author. And then we've got his counterpart who, comes from a marketing and advertising, arena. And they've come together in this and completely changed their lives and the lives of so many people. So I want to introduce Dr. Jonathan Yellowcheck and Donna Racet. You guys there?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, JC? And thank you so much and for this opportunity to speak. It's truly an honor. And my story was a little bit different. It's similar to JC, but my biggest transformation was that, as you see in the pictures, it kind of shows where I was as a doctor of chiropractic. That's what I was most proud of being, an x-ray on a box and the white coat. I mean, when you graduate with the huge degree, they give you the white coat as a kind of a parting gift. So I thought that was nice. But when I look at that, something that I was doing, I built a huge practice that was 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, because that's what I was supposed to do. And then when I found out that what I did to have freedom was really voluntary incarceration for 10 hours a day, it kind of, the wheels came off the bus a little bit. And I looked and luckily had the opportunity that I stepped back from it and realized that I wanted to help people in a very, profound way to enhance their lives. But what I was doing was very time dependent, and I got to a fork in the road, and it was either my career expanded as my quality of life decreased. So I was looking for something to have both. And look at the picture on the right. That was me at convention just recently, and something that I'm really, it's funny to say, but I'm almost more proud of being able to do my work with my fingers in the nose of a bull. So it's just something where you just enjoy, and sharing this whole gift we have with others. The transformation became that I started living more than existing, with the idea that what I was doing, there was no way to create more hours in a day. And I had a very interesting conversation with a business consultant, and he said, well, that's great. You want to help more people and earn more money. Well, you can work more hours. And then the record stopped, because I said, I'm living Groundhog Day now as it is. And, being successful in practice didn't necessarily mean being successful in life. And now I get to live life on my terms. I love chiropractic, but I practice 2 days a week on my own terms. I would never give that up. And I do chiropractic for two-legged and four-legged alike. And I do OPTAVIA the rest of the time. And I get to really just enjoy life and really experience, instead of, like I said, existing. It was something that you go along with a plan until a plan doesn't work. And that seems to be, really where I was at. And also something as kind of an amazing aside, I got to meet the beautifully talented Donna here. And it was something that was really just, as far as coming together, I believe everything happens for a reason. And the people that really I surround myself with, I just recently gave a talk for some people that were really in a challenged position, and I didn't realize how just incredibly blessed we are that we have this to do and share with others. So would you like to say your, where you're at with your story?
It's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. J. I love living rather than existing. And in some ways, I think what a shame it is that it took me so long to get to that place. And in other ways, I am so forever grateful that I found this gift of OPTAVIA. And you can see my before and after picture there. And I love Amber Smithson says it so well. She says, isn't it interesting how when we put our picture up, it shows our physical transformation, but oh, how awesome it would be if it could really show the mind and the healthy part of our mental piece transformation that has taken place. And for me, that before picture and that after picture, there is a profound difference. The weight loss portion of my story happened almost 7 years ago. And at that time in my life, by all regards, if you were on the outside looking in, you would have thought to yourself, wow, that girl's living a good life. She seems really happy. She seems like she has her life together. was not the case at all. It was a completely artificial front that I was putting out. Like Dr. JC said, my background was marketing and public relations. I'm a writer. So it was my job to allow the good in things to show. So I did my best to try to show that, but I was miserable. You guys, I was so miserable in every single area of my health. My body, clearly, my weight, my mind, my finances, my relationships, all of it, just miserable. And I watched one of my best friends who was utilizing this program, and she was losing the weight, which was awesome, but she was getting her life back. And I said, that's what I want. Actually, if I'm completely transparent, my truth is I just wanted to not be fat anymore. That's really where I was. Like health coach confessions, that's where I was. But I'm going to tell you right now, I went, before my first week on this program was over, I felt incredible. The energy, it was amazing how I felt. So I quickly was able to flip that switch and say, you know what? I can not only lose that fat from my body, but I can lose the fat from my head and my thinking and my concepts, and I can really regain my life. So fast forward, I lost 48 pounds. I thought I wanted to lose 30. I wanted to lose 48, and that's exactly what I lost. Happened for me when I was about halfway through my weight loss. I got fired from my job. I got fired. It was an awful feeling, and it was kind of a nice feeling because there were some, benefits of being able to move out of that situation. So I started just looking for a job, and I kept on my program, and I kept losing weight, and I kept building healthy habits. And then I had this aha moment of being able to pay forward this incredible gift that we've been given. Like Dr. JC said, I realized I had water and that I was living in a world that was dying of thirst, and I wanted to share that with others. So as I was trying to look for my next perfect marketing job, the debt kept piling up and up and up. And people kept asking me, hey, by the way, what are you doing? You look great. What are you doing? And finally I said, let me share that with you. And I decided to become an OPTAVIA coach. Best day of my life, because now moving forward, that's what I do. My full-time job is being an OPTAVIA coach now. I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary doing that. And when I say full-time, I mean, it's my full-time source of income. I don't work full-time hours. I work from home. I don't know if you can hear the squeaking, but we have our pups with us, which is just wonderful because being able to work from an environment with my chosen family, with this part of the gift of what I found through OPTAVIA, and being able to be here tonight with all of you has profoundly changed the way that I look at life, the way that I live life. And like Dr. J said so well, I've gone from just existing to truly living my life. And you know what the best part about all of this is? You can too. You get to make that choice about whatever it is in your life that you would like to be different, that you would like to have more of, to be happier, to be healthier, to be wealthier. You get to choose. You get to choose what you do next. And I encourage you to make that choice for you. Wear that smile on your face for real, because now, by all counts, if you're looking outside in, what you see, this is legit. So thank you so much for allowing us to share our stories tonight.
Wow. Who wants some Think about what you want right now and just put an at the end and say, I would like some on that. What an amazing share. Thanks so much, guys. So now let's shift gears. I mean, we're staying in health profession. We've got an amazing share here from somebody that, I had the opportunity to meet a long time ago. As you can see on that far right picture, she comes from the healthcare industry. Fun name, right? Healthcare. But this is Lois Steckler. She's a nurse practitioner, and she's just a wonderful human being, and she's going to share her story. Lois, are you there?
I'm here, JC. Thanks, JC and Donna and Dr. J for the wonderful shares tonight. And I'm also very happy to be able to share my story as well. So, when I was a child, I had 3 burning desires. The first one was to hang with the active kids, to be able to ride a bike, hike, ski, or swim. And as you can see from the picture, I was an overweight child and teenager. So I was always embarrassed about not being able to hop over that darn horse in the gym class, or pull myself up on the ropes, or even keep up with friends on a hike. And that's just to name a few things that caused me some teenage angst. So at 17, I started my first of too many diets, and I lost my first 30 pounds. My second burning desire was to be a neonatal nurse and help the littlest of all patients. So I went to college, and I gained an incredible nursing career. And I also gained the freshman 15 or more. And I was back to square one with the fad diets. My third burning desire was to have a family of my own. And as the fates would have it, I had my own set of preemie twins. So the night shifts of 12 hours that I had been working turned into 24 hours with my own babies. And in addition to that, I gained 50 pounds with the pregnancy. I was always sleep deprived and craving energy and quick carbs. And to top it off, I went back to work when they were 8 months old. So I left my young family in the care of others. And that added guilt to the long list of other unhealthy habits that I had going on. Now, I loved working with my preemies, but taking care of them came at the expense of my own health. You know, erratic scheduling, erratic eating, long shifts, night shifts, lack of sleep, no time to hydrate or even take bathroom breaks, not to mention the wonderful gifts of donuts and cookies from grateful NICU parents. You know, and then after that, having to go home and care for my own young family. This took a toll on me, and I know it took a toll on my fellow nurses. So hence the 38 years of yo-yo dieting that followed this. But I am forever grateful to my friend and her cardiologist husband for introducing me to this program 8 years ago. And actually, I'm most grateful that she persisted in dripping on me until I was ready to say yes, because it didn't happen immediately. But I was able to go on and lose 30 pounds, have a structured, easy plan for those long shifts, and remain, you know, happier and healthier and get back my energy and my confidence. You know, I realized that this time the difference for me was having the 4 components: the individual support, you know, having somebody who understood my scheduling and my particular issues, learning new habits, learning the science of fueling. You know, as a nurse, I took nutrition in college, so I thought I knew it all between that and the 900 diets I'd been on. But I want to thank Dr. A for creating the real curriculum and teaching us about fueling. And then the entire community of support, you know, nutrition support, the local meetings, the Habits of Health webinars, Facebook groups, and so much more that actually added to my success. But I'm even more grateful that I was asked to coach. And I was invited to attend a Trilogy meeting in person before we had these Zooms. So fortunately it rained that day and I couldn't play golf, so I reluctantly went to the meeting. And I got to experience the community in person. And that's what absolutely made me decide to become a coach. Hearing the testimonials of people who changed their mental, their physical, and their financial health, I couldn't help but want to be a part of this. And I attribute so much of my long-term success as a client to coaching. The ability to maintain my weight loss because of the accountability to my clients, and immersing myself in this amazing community of support where we never feel isolated and alone. So, you know, FYI, health coaching is a great adjunct to a nursing career. We already have the skill set of being empathetic. We are educators to our patients. And of course, we always wanted to help people. It's almost an unfair advantage to nurses. But now my preemies don't need to lose weight, so they're not my clients. Some NPs, you know, have the experience of having their patients go on the program, not my preemies. But working in maternal child health, I'm able to offer this program to parents with weight-related issues, to mothers who gained excessive weight due to fertility treatments or after delivery, or just plain, you know, post-baby weight or postmenopausal women like myself when I started this. And we even have a nursing mother's plan. So what could be better? Who else are my clients? My friends, my family, my fellow nurses, and so many people that have been referred to me from all over the country. It's so much fun meeting all of these new people from everywhere and learning about them. So what have I accomplished by adding a second career that I love? I've helped thousands more people experience physical, mental, and financial health than I ever could dream of when I was a child wanting to help people. I schedule my own time around my family. I never miss family events anymore. And I'm not so tired when I go to them that I can't enjoy them. And I really never enjoyed leaving my house to sit in traffic on the Tappan Zee Bridge. So now I'm in control of my own earnings. I'm not dependent on the hospital earnings or evaluations for raises. I've learned so much about self-development from the wonderful leaders. I love the team building aspect of this, showing others how to coach and experience the same scheduling and financial freedom that I have. I love explaining the phenomenal compensation plan and being an entrepreneur. I love being able to use my sense of humor in coaching. So what else have I and my family personally gained? I have abundance to help my family financially and create more memories. I had a fantastic wedding for one of my twins, and I have enough saved for the other one. Hint, hint, if she's on this call, let's get moving with that. I also vested another pension. I have financial resources for my retirement, which is looming imminently. And just visit a Social Security office and you'll understand what I say about financial resources. It's a little scary. But I bought a little getaway in Florida much earlier than I would have because I love warm weather, and I was actually never a good skier, even though I said I wanted to do that when I was a kid. But I've built lasting friendships through this business that adds so much to my life. And lastly, the ability to wind down from full-time to per diem nursing. And next week is my last shift as a nurse after 44 years. Thank you. But, you know, busy people like to stay busy. So again, I'm blessed to have this second career that I'm totally passionate about. I thank my lucky stars that it rained that day over 8 years ago and that I went to that meeting. And going back to that burning childhood desire, I have the energy to do the above mentioned sports and many more. Golf, pickleball, the fastest growing sport in America, Pilates, bike riding, and so much more. So thank you all for being here tonight. And please get back with the person who invited you to this call.
Thank you so much, Lois. I've heard that story before, but I never get bored of it. You're such an amazing person. You know, you just made me realize, you know, that, you know, I think there's a statistic that's somewhere out there about how Americans spend like 85% of their life working, you know. So I just, you know, I remember for me, I wanted time freedom. I wanted to be with my kids. So I know a lot of people are here to look at the program. A lot of people are here looking at coaching. You might even be a client. But in the chat box, just quickly, just take one word and just put in a word that shows what you're fighting for. What is it that you need the most in your life? Just so everybody can see how similar it all is and how this can be the solution for you. So next, this one really hits home to me because what I love about this guy is this guy he's set a goal to be the greatest father in the world. And that's what he's fighting for. And he's got an amazing story. So Jeremy Pratt, are you there?
I sure am, JC. Thank you. And it's an honor to be here this evening. And, you know, I'm following a doctor, a nurse. So I'm just an FFG. I'm a former fat guy. And, you know, when I look at that picture up there in my before picture, you know, I had a smile, but it was always a smile that I hid behind. And if you asked people about me 7 years ago, I was happy, I was go-lucky, but it was all fake. I was acting. Truth be told, I was miserable inside my skin. If we had an event, I'd do anything I could to get out of it because I didn't want to be out there looking how I was. And ironically enough, that's how I found out about OPTAVIA. You know, Dr. J talked about coming to a fork in the road. Well, when I got to that fork, I literally took that fork and I went to eat more food because when we saw my brother-in-law, he looked amazing. Big Division I football player, and he was just getting cut up. And my dad and I both said, what the heck are you doing? And as soon as I heard the word program, that's when I took the fork and I went and got a salted bagel with butter and a Coke. And then I came back to hear the rest of his story, and I preached to him about how you could just work out and lose weight. Meanwhile, I'm eating my bagel and my Coke. And, you know, needless to say, I was always right back then. You know, mentally too, I was fat in the head mentally. And so a couple of months go by, and my dad and my brother-in-law are vanishing in front of me, and they're doing, you know, amazing stuff. And, you know, if you see that picture, you see me holding a little tiny boy, and that's our son, JD. And, you know, all I ever wanted to be when I grew up was a father. And, you know, we had JD, and, you know, we wanted a big family, but financially, it was just terrible. We were in a bad spot. So more than that, I needed to get healthy. So one morning, I'm bending over to tie my boots. It's a cold winter morning. I'm sliding my stomach out of the way, and I open my door up, and I yell into my wife, I'm going to do that thing my father and my brother-in-law are doing. And I got to work. You know, I said to my dad, I don't know what I need to do. I got on the phone with his coach, and we started the journey, and I got home, and everything had shown up, and I told my wife I'm starting Monday, and she said, well, Monday's Valentine's Day. And I said, well, if I start Monday, I'll be around for a lot more Valentine's days for you. So fast forward, you know, I'm on program. You know, I'm doing really well. I'm feeling great. I'm starting to feel alive again. And all of a sudden I start panicking. How am I going to keep this off? I've never kept weight off before. And, you know, my coach said to me, do you remember that big book in saran wrap? Unwrap it. And boom, you know, the mental start. That it was the mental stuff and the mindset. That's what I really needed to heal there. And so as I'm having great results, of course, everybody's asking you what's going on. How are you doing? You know, what's going on? You look so good. How are you doing this? And sure enough, I would tell them and I'd send them to my coach. I'd refer them. And finally, one day, my coach said, I'm not taking any more referrals from you. You need to start coaching. And I gave her this, I'm so busy and I'm very important and I can't coach. And I told her that over and over again. And meanwhile, we're at home and we're struggling financially. We're really struggling. We have JD. He needs to go to daycare. How am I going to pay daycare? I'm already rotating credit cards. You know, that credit card roulette where you have the 3 credit cards and one pays off the other. And, you know, so finally she said to me, wait, all these people you referred to me, look at what I've made from that. I said, oh my gosh, that's a daycare payment. And so she also said to me, you know, if you start coaching, you're now accountable to everybody and you can't get fat again. And I said, well, that's good accountability. I like that because I like helping other people and doing stuff for other people. I won't do stuff for myself, but I love helping others. So off I go into my coaching and I started helping out some family and friends. And, you know, I really started loving it. But what was more important than that was their lives started changing just like mine changed. You know, physically felt amazing. You know, financially things were getting better, right? I could loosen the belt a little bit. You know, one of the biggest things for us was to have more kids, but financially, when we were in that really bad spot of credit card shuffle, we just didn't see it as possible. And if you look at that middle picture, well, it became very possible. You know, what's really cool about coaching is that someone needs something that we offer and we can share it with our heart and do the hard work and really help a lot of people. And that's what really made me enjoy coaching so much. You know, and what was even better was when I was that guy on the left, I was not only feeling physically awful, mentally I was awful. I was grumpy, I was cranky. I was always, you know, up in arms about something. And when I really truly understood that this program saved us and saved me was exactly a year ago. We had an idea to build up on our house and put a second story on. And we were, you know, in a great spot where we could do that. And they had cut the whole roof off. And where I'm sitting now was just the floor. And there's a big tarp overhead. And a big storm came. And our house flooded. And they had to gut the entire thing. They moved our entire family to a hotel for 9 months. And everyone was like, are you freaking out? And I'm like, no, it's cool. It's all good. Things are great. And, you know, things were so good mentally, physically. We're helping a lot of people. A lot of people are building up their lives. And I always look back at everything that I had learned in the habits of health and coaching and still learning. And I hold on to that every day. And being able to pay this forward is such a gift. And, you know, if you know one person who's suffering that this program can help, I encourage you to share it with them. Maybe you're not going to be a coach. I encourage you to be a coach though. But share the gift that you have. And I guarantee you, if this gift wasn't shared 7 years ago, that guy on the left probably wouldn't be here today because he was going down a bad road. So I thank all of you guys tonight. Share the gift. Share from your heart. It's worth it.
Well, I know that a lot of people are going to relate to that. You know, I sure do, because, you know, I never knew that when I started my career, what it was going to take, you know. So just want to go over a couple of things here. You know, just think about the financial situation in America right now. Think about how it, you know, pertains to you. If you're here to learn about the health program, just look at how this might even affect this. Less than half of your friends have a rainy day fund. That's the reality right now. Only half of your friends are satisfied with their job. Just think about job satisfaction. I mean, people have stopped dreaming, you know. Think about that. So most of your friends are not telling you this. So you are actually one of those people that is, you know, kind of thinking like I did, that good enough was good enough, you know? So think about that. Think about how that pertains. And think about how this market, you know, it takes a little bit of a bigger vision right now. But first of all, if you're a mission-based person, how do we get America healthy? Well, we can't do it by selecting the right politicians. America's only going to get healthy if we change, you know, tip the scales. If you get Americans healthy and they inspire others to think that they can do it too, and we pay it forward, it's a pay it forward movement, that's huge. The wellness industry, that's a $3.72 trillion global industry with 10.6% growth from 2013 to 2015. It's almost 2019. I would assume that that's changed. So here's our income disclosure, you know, which just shows soup to nuts, everything. We're supposed to share that with you. But I just want to encourage everybody, you know, just take a moment right now and think about what your thing is. What is it that you desire most? Remember, we said physical, mental, financial. We want them all, but last night you prayed for one of them the most. That's your starting point. So listen to these stories, relate to them as they fit, but think about that one thing that you need the most, and just consider this idea of joining this OPTAVIA community, part-time or full-time, or even just out of the goodness of your heart and helping other people. I mean, think about all the people that you know that need something. Everybody's looking for something. All these people you heard from tonight are looking for something. So we are so honored that you joined us tonight. Your next step is to take a next step. And it's real simple. Reach out to the person that shared this with you and just say, I want to have a conversation. I want to explore the idea of getting healthy, of joining this community, and also joining this mission to get America healthy, paying it forward. So thank you so much, everybody. Wonderful shares, and everybody have a wonderful night.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.